The following video was originally supposed to be an Instagram reel for color trance sound design techniques. However, things happened. It turned into a project breakdown, and the video ended up being almost 15 minutes. Way to go, Grownden. Rather than cut it down to simpler sections, this video will be revised as a YouTube video, complete with the 15 minutes and a few extra for content purposes. Any mentions of this being an Instagram reel are hereby incorrect from this point onward. Thank you for understanding, and enjoy the video.
Heyo, it's Grownden. I'm making a series of reels for my release for ClubHaus Records, and it's out now, but some of you are probably listening to Color Trance and thinking, well, how can I get involved in this? Well, I'm a producer, so I can go ahead and tell you a few tips for sound design in the genre that I think you might be interested if you're looking for some sparkly additions to your tracks, or maybe just even other forms of color elements. I think you might like this one. And for the normal people, I'm sorry this is going to get a little technical. I do apologize, but bear with me on this, okay? Let's take a look into some color trance sound design techniques that I think you might need to add into your next production. Heyo, it's voiceover Grownden here. Real life Grownden, you know that guy, right? He wanted to do a sound design video for this. Well, I want to do a bit of a project breakdown-ish type video. So, you know what? To heck with real life Grownden, you're getting a project breakdown-ish thing, which somewhat teaches you about sound design, but you know what? It's also going to show you how I made the project. So, there's that. Maybe you might learn something from it, I'm not sure, but anyways, yeah. Let's get into it. A disclaimer before we begin. This is not a showcase of the entire project, mainly because this project is very processing heavy on my computer, and my CPU does not like it when I go processing heavy. Plus, also, this is a reel or a YouTube short or wherever the label is uploading this, meaning that if I take too long on this, you're probably not going to watch the rest of this. So I'm only going to show you a little bit. First up, the chords, which started the whole idea. Let's hear them first before I explain. Okay, nice. Lots going on in here, so let me explain a bit to you. First off, the top layer in this chord stack is actually Expand 2. What you heard was before and after I added a phaser flanger, or flanger, I don't know how it's pronounced, but I added one of those on top of it to make things sound interesting. There's actually two phaser flangers over on the Expand 2 track. And one of them is actually being modulated by an envelope. So an envelope, for those of you who don't know, is ADSR, Attack, Decay, Sustain, Release. Basically, it controls how long and how much of the modulation will be on the track or the effect. Out of all the layers in the chord stack, that one is the most complicated, so I won't go too much over the rest of these, but basically what's left is wavetable with a bit of unison, vital, standard, progressive trance chord stack, not much to explain there. M1, my beloved, Korg M1 with the piano, and a vital lead, just for a little bit of melodic flavoring. However, what is a color trance track without some color? Let's go ahead and listen to a couple of elements I put in Never Stop before and after I added some color effects. Take a listen. Did that bit before the color effects sound good to you? I didn't think so. It doesn't sound good to me either. So what did we do to spice it up? Let me explain. Most of the elements are being glued together melodically by a plugin by Zinf Audio. It's called Chroma. I actually got it myself. It's around $40, so you can get it as well if you want, and it won't break your bank, I promise you. But basically, it's become a staple in my toolbox, and Zinf Audio really made something amazing, not just for color trance, but for color bass, color house. I'm not sponsored, but you should definitely go check them out. Shout out Zinf Audio if you guys are watching. Thank you guys for making such an amazing and affordable plugin for color bass, color trance, any bit of color production, really. It's awesome. So how does this device work? I don't really know. All it just does is it adds more melodic character into your tracks. And speaking of melodic character, some of these I think you might know already because it was kind of processed a little bit on the before side of things, is actually being processed by a plugin inside Ableton. So Ableton users, check your library for this one. It's actually really good. The plugin I am talking about is Ableton Resonator. It's basically a resonator. I don't really know what this does. All I just know is it makes your sounds a little bit more melodic and metallic as well. It kind of sounds like it, if you put your voice through it, kind of sounds like a robot, but if you put some basses through it, it sounds like color bass. It's hard to describe. I feel like somebody can describe this a bit better than I can, but overall, I can tell you it sounds absolutely sickeningly good. So Ableton users, do not sleep on this. Such a great tool. And it comes with your digital audio workstation, so check it out, won't you? Also, before I continue, I just want to mention I grabbed this picture off the internet because I forgot to take a picture of Ableton Resonator. I forgot to take a picture of a lot of these devices. I'm just taking these pictures off of the internet. But real quick, don't apply the setting that is in this picture on here, because why is the decay set at 90 something? That feels like that should be a crime. I don't know. I just don't think that would sound good. I think that would sound like too much. But anyways, speaking of Ableton stock devices, let's go back to that before I lose my mind on that preset that was in the picture. There were a couple other ones that were used in this part, and they've actually been a staple of mine in my sound design sessions. There is the frequency shifter, and there is also the default vocoder. The frequency shifter, and also range modulation for that matter, sometimes I use that too, sometimes sounds better when it's used with chroma. I think it just sounds nicer and gives out more of that melodic and harmonic character, while the vocoder can also be used to receive signals from other synths in terms of melodic content, and you can pair that with chroma too if you use low bandwidth on it, which always sounds good, believe me. Before we continue, some never stop color sound design techniques. Don't be afraid to mess up at first. It was hard for me to get this perfect at first, and it will be hard for you to get this perfect at first. It's not even perfect for me, obviously. I'm still learning about some stuff, and I definitely will still be learning years from now. So keep trying, keep failing, but most importantly, have fun with the process as well. Also, try out different plugins. You can try like the ones I mentioned, like Chroma, and you could try the vocoder, you could try frequency shifting, resonation, or if you want, you can even try other plugins, like the one I'm about to mention in the ARP. Take a listen to this one. This one uses a Ableton stock tool as well. Can you guess which one? Yeah, I'm not kidding. This was an Ableton stock plugin. You might think this is overly complicated, but most of the processing and automation and effects and stuff is inside one stock plugin, Ableton Grain Delay. All that's going on here is a lot of spray, not too much frequency, if any at all, and of course some pitch automation, because it just sounds good as a riser. I don't know why. I just fiddled with it and put in the pitch automation for going up and down, and it's just, I don't know why, but it just sounds perfect, so I kept it like that, and I didn't question it. Oh, and also a sound design tip for you guys. If it sounds good, don't question it. It doesn't matter if the method is stupid. Just keep it. If it sounds good, keep it. There is no right or wrong in sound design. If you think there is, then you're in the wrong industry. That's all I'll say on the matter. Finally, before I go ahead and get you out this video with the outro video, I should mention a couple of things. One, there is no right or wrong in sound design. I literally just mentioned that. And two, don't be afraid to use tools that I didn't even mention here. I've been actually using some tools outside of Never Stop. You might hear some of those projects pretty soon, but I've been using tools such as Diopser, which is a free alternative to Kilohertz Disperser. Really, really good plugin. Go get that. And I've been also using Texturize by SoundGhost, which is a plugin that adds layered audio that reacts to your audio, and it's really, really sick for sound design. And what is another tip I can go ahead and give? Don't give up. Sound design is incredibly tough. I know in my early years, I really did not know how to do any bit of sound design. But then I messed with some tools. I messed with Vocoder. I messed with Magnesis by Unfamiliar. Shout out Unfamiliar if they're watching. I've also used Chroma. Chroma is absolutely beautiful and become a staple in my toolbox. I mentioned that. And I made some awesome sounds like these. These are actually not in Never Stop. These are just from my personal sample collection that I've been making for the past little while. Oh, this actually leads to another good point. Build your own personal sample library. It doesn't matter if you use Splice samples or LoopCloud samples or even BandLab sound samples. Just at least have a bit of sounds of your own. Now, I'm not saying you got to make everything yourself, but if you sound design enough and there's a sound that you like that you want to reuse in another track, then get to saving that and build up your little sample library. Make your little arsenal of weird sounds. Get weird, get crazy, and save them often. You might find some uses for these later on, even if you use them at least once, believe me. And finally, don't be afraid to have fun. You can get as stupid as you want. You can make your sounds as wonky as you want. You can make your sounds professional or even a little bit immature if you want. Just have fun with the process. It's sound design, not a test. Go ahead and make whatever you want and just have fun with the process. Don't stress yourself over the tools. Just take your time and have a lot of fun with this, because that's what creativity is all about. Making sure you have fun with what you're working on. My philosophy is usually, if you're not having fun, then you're doing something wrong. So make sure you're having fun in the sound design process. Don't stress yourself out and just have a good time with it. Anyways, I just realized this video is getting too long, so one last thing before I switch over to real Grownden. If you have any questions about sound design, I'll be looking at the comments section of this reel, so don't be afraid to ask me anything, and I'll try my best to respond and give as much info as I can. But anyways, my time is up. I gotta go, and I think you all probably miss real Grownden, don't you? Anyways, we should probably go see what he's up to and maybe let him do the outro. So yeah, this is a voiceover Grownden. Bye-bye. Well, that's pretty much it. Those are the sound design techniques for color trance. This is not a complete list. Obviously, there's still some that you can probably get into if you want, which is stuff like chord impulse reverbs, which I have not messed with myself because I don't have any chord impulse reverbs, or you can mess with pitch map. I don't have pitch map. I'm too broke for pitch map. You can mess with literally any other color sound design technique. I recommend go checking out other producers for that sort of knowledge, but hopefully this encourages you to add a little bit of color into your trance. Get it? Because color trance. Stream Never Stop, out now via ClubHaus Records. Have a good one, everyone.